Let's start the day. So, how are you, Can family? How are you guys doing? We are here. We are gonna be discussing about
The new stream, the new policies, what's happening in this week. So especially, I know you guys are aware, and you guys watched the yesterday's video which we put up on the new AIP, how they have closed the AIP for couple of in couple of places. And now there's another update where there is a couple of new streams and new RCIP program opening up in some other places. There's a whole lot of things happening with immigration, and I think somewhere it's somewhat good, but somewhat it's not also good. But let's discuss one by one. Thank you guys for joining in. Do share where you guys are from and joining us from. If you are from a different unique place, or what's your we want to connect with you guys. So if you want to know, ask questions about where Vishnu is, how old is he.
I'm very young. I'm just 18 plus HST.
Forever 24.
18 plus HST.
Yeah. All right, Vishnu. We kind of were waiting for a couple of people to join in. We have Ahmed Aftab who's saying hi, Vishnu, to you.
Hi.
All right. So just giving you guys a breakdown. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss about what just happened today in this week. Called a lot of policies, couple of new updates, couple of good ones, okay ones. Couple of new things, better things. Migration and whole lot of things are happening. We'll just discuss about that and
Let's start.
Let's start, Vishnu. So, first of all, you had put up a video about what happened with AIP. What's the whole thing that's happening with New Brunswick?
So it's not only with New Brunswick. The same thing which we can notice with the RCIP. We can notice same thing with the PNP also. That if you look into particularly with the New Brunswick AIP as of now, it started somewhere in the February month. It was not opened in January. Everyone was panicking that, okay, why the AIP is not getting open. It opened and it was also closed in the month of April. 1.5 months only it was open. And again, that number of applications is received and that's why it got closed.
Okay.
And the same thing can happen with any of the application, because right now if you have noticed that in 2025, almost all the quota for every application stream is decreased. So my sincere request to every Can family member is always that, okay, have a multiple options. So those individuals who are already waited for the AIP now, unfortunately they cannot able to do AIP application. My sincere request is that just talk to your employer and do a PNP application. Don't move the province, because I see there's a very huge trend going on where people move to Alberta when they heard that, okay, in Alberta hospitality is giving a PR. From there they moved to Manitoba because they heard that, okay, someone got a PR there and they had a 1 or 2 draws under the skill.
Even in Newfoundland.
Then they went to Newfoundland. Then people started to move to Saskatchewan. Now at last those individuals who are in New Brunswick, suddenly when they heard that, okay, now the AIP is not possible, they just go behind the rumors and now they are moving to now Yukon. Once again, in Yukon also, it's a very small, I would say, state. There's a very limited number of applications. So always remember how you are thinking. The same way there are other international students who will be also thinking. So try to away from hospitality, service industry or food chain. Try to get any other job, because all the jobs which is other than these 3 streams are always have a better possibility.
Okay, so right now it's only for New Brunswick, right? That has
Yes.
been announced.
Yes.
But what about all the other Atlantic provinces? Do you think it's gonna come there soon as well?
Very soon, but now with other provinces, one thing inside, it's not first come first serve.
Okay.
So once you put an application, again there is an assessment process which goes through, and if you are getting picked up endorsed, then only they are giving that number. But right now, Prince Edward is, I'm literally surprised that why Prince Edward and Nova Scotia has not released and New Brunswick released. But again, it's very evident that from last 1.5 years, if you are looking into, people are not trending towards Nova Scotia and Prince Edward. Mostly people are focusing on New Brunswick only.
New Brunswick, yeah.
So that is one of the major reason why the New Brunswick AIP got closed so fast. But soon we can expect the news from other AIP streams too. Because once again, it's very limited number of applications compared to the international students moved already there or just studied there. they should be getting eligibility by this point.
And what about all those people? I know a lot of people have gone there in search of like jobs and like opportunities and like and must have even like stayed there for almost one whole year, like hoping that this is their like pathway. Like now you said like, okay, if there is no path 1A, what is your path B? So what are their options right now if they have to like move? Like, do they have to move out or should they just stay there and wait for them one whole year?
So my sincere request to every CAN family member, or during the consultation also, I always tell this thing to all the CAN family member that try to move if you have a secure job. Don't try to move with the hope that, okay, no, my friend moved 2 years back or 3 years back, okay, his employer may support, because that is a very huge risk which you are taking. So if you wanted to move to a particular province, look for a job, identify that, okay, what all process you guys are eligible for as per your profile, as per your employer profile, and then move. Because for example, just simple example, like we had a client who like moved in New Brunswick around in 2024 starting. He was hoping that, okay, he will complete his 1 year by December and put an application. By December, by the time it completed 1 year, already in September, AIP was closed. Now people started to tell him that, okay, no, it's not a good idea to be here, just move out. I recommended him multiple times that to stay there, because now next year, again, this year, the AIP will open. Under the influence of friends, he decided to change the employer. He moved to another employer, to another province. And now in February, again, once the AIP was open, now he wanted to come back. Now employers say that, no, he don't have a vacancy there. So, and again, where he moved, now in Nova Scotia or whatever province he moved after that, their employer is now asking him for extra money to support him for the PR. So always, if you are planning to move, always have two options. Okay, one option doesn't work. What's the second option? For AIP individuals who missed the opportunity now in New Brunswick, the second best option is to go with a PNP or improve your IELTS score and try to get into one of the category-based express entry draw or express entry. That is the most easiest way.
That's a good. I hope a lot of people who are watching us from these provinces, like guys, always. I think what's like for the people who are watching in these provinces, like or like in AIP provinces or like different outskirts. Like, do you have anything that you want to tell them as an advice?
Stick with the same employer. If you know that, okay, you just moved in the last year, you are yet not completed your 1 year in New Brunswick, but because of this particular news that AIP is closed, now you're concerned, don't be concerned. If you already moved there anyhow to get qualified into AIP or any other PNP pathway, you need to be in that province for 1 year. Stick on with them and look for the employer that if employer is giving you a little bit extra support with like a PNP, AIP or LMI in case if your work permit is about to expire, try to establish that kind of relationship so that you are safe with a plan B. But please, by changing policies, don't keep on changing the communities or province. I have personally like international students who particularly moved 5 different provinces in last 2.5 years. And right now he took a consultation 2.5 years back. Now when he contacted me, he said that he don't even have a tier 0, 1 to 3 job. He was just rolling around saying that, okay, he will go through PNB in demand. Then when the Saskatchewan closed, he moved to Manitoba. When it closed, it moved to other provinces. So literally because he moved so many provinces, he did not even completed his 1 year of experience. A person who'd have a degree, more than 3 years of experience,
back home.
If he could have a 1 year of experience somehow in last 2.5 years, by this point he might be PR with CLB9. But that simple thing, difficult to make international students understand that, okay, people go behind French. Please do your English first.
That's a good thing. I hope this kind of cleared a lot of your doubts, questions about the whole New Brunswick AIP, that whole AIP closing up in New Brunswick. We'll go to a couple of questions, Vishnu, before we go to the next topic.
Sure.
We have Hannah, who has asked I completed my course by April 15th. So from April 16th, how many hours I can work? I got a full-time job as well.
Okay. So Hannah, hi. So one thing about this, you completed your program on April 15th, makes sense. But now, did you receive your course completion letter and transcript? The answer would be no. You can still be considered as a student and you can still able to continue working part-time. The day, once you receive your course completion letter and transcript, try to put your application immediately by same day or by next day. So as of today, what you can do is, you can start like log into your GC key, start preparing your forms, upload all the documents. Just wait for the transcript, official transcript, and course completion letter. The day you received your letter, the course completion and transcript, submit your application, and from that day onwards, you can go on full time. By following this path, you don't need to be unemployed. You can continue being on a part time, and immediately you submit, and you can go on a full time position.
That's good. And also, guys, if your questions is answered, put a thumbs up so that we know okay that your questions have been answered. Or if you have a follow up question while Vishnu is explaining, just put it up so that I can just shoot it right away.
So Hannah, I hope you got an answer.
Okay, we have Ahmed Aftab who's asked, my primary knock is in gas fitters. I have been working on this field for the last 5 months. I only have a G3 license. Will I be rejected?
So Ahmed, first of all, who told you that it will be rejected? I believe I have seen the comment in our Instagram comment box also, but again, let me explain that now. Okay. So now, when you're saying that you're coming under gas fitter, so first question to you is, did you identify your knock code? So when you identify your knock code, 3 things you have to look into. One is the title statement, where it says that, okay, which all industry will be covered in that. Second one, you have to match the duties of it, that, okay, what all duties you're performing, are they matching with the duties of the knock code? Going to a third, you need to look into the employment requirement. And in the employment requirement, you need to be very careful that whether you are fulfilling all the requirement given under the knock code. So for example, if it need a license in Ontario or whichever province you are in, you need to have a license. Now the point is, I don't remember seeing that gas fitter needs G3 license or something, but once again, you need to look into what are the requirement. Let me give you a little bit of a loophole in the knock code system. If your employer is cooperative, you can go as a gas fitter apprenticeship, or you can go as a gas fitter training. Okay. If you go with that, you can avoid getting a license. At the same time, you can also get qualified into express entry stream. For the PNP, it's a different regulation. You have to have a license. If it say you need a license, then you need a license.
Okay.
I hope you got an answer. Thumbs up.
Wait, what is gas fitter? What's the roles and responsibilities of their job?
So it's something knock code need to be looked into. It's a 5 to 6, 7 duties are there.
Okay.
A person need to fulfill all the duties to go under the gas fitter. But like I said, knock code is important, not the title. So sometimes the gas fitter can even have a knock code of welder.
Gotcha.
Because again, the employer is calling him gas fitter, okay, he's doing it. But again, if he's doing welding kind of thing, using the machine or using the pump, it can go under that. So it depends upon a lot of things, and most important thing is the duties that defines your knock code.
Okay, that's good. I hope Vishnu answered your question, Ahmed. We have Adrian, and we also have one more person. It was Kannada team who was asked, what's happening with express entry, like with no draws, and is there any update in OINP? And Adrian was also asked, why are we not seeing any draws of lately?
Okay. Hi Adrian. Adrian is our client. Okay. So, hi brother and Kannada team, both of you. Thank you for putting a comment there. It's a very good topic to ask. During a consultation, I have explained a lot of people, but let me explain online. Again, whenever we are looking into immigration, it's not just an immigration. It's also related to the economy of the country. It is also related to the political things. If you have noticed that from last 4 or 5 months, from the November onwards, there are a lot of things are going in a political way. Like even the House of Commons are not working. New Prime Minister about to come. And again, there's the Prime Minister shift. Now the election is coming. Any draw or any immigration process that need always the officials, the government officials. And I positive that right now what's happening is the government is trying to pull them from their positions and trying to conduct the polling, and those kind of things are going on, which has the higher priority at this time rather than going with the draws. And this is something very common. If you look into the last draw, like a last election also, before the election there would be a little bit of a hiccups. But last time in 2021, that was a time when the TR to PR happened, the 75 draw happened.
The big draw.
That was like from May till September it happened. Once the draw, like election completed, literally everything was shut down for 1 year. So it's very common that near to the election, there is halt on federal program, but also it's very common with going with like a provincial nominations too. So PNPs, AIP, everything is, I could say, yeah, the good word is halt at this point. I'm also hoping that it should start very soon. If Liberal comes, we are not expecting to having too much of regulation changes, but definitely if the conservative come, we should be prepared with some good policy change, which would be supporting more towards the people who are in Canada, and it would be giving more authority to those international students who are working in the primary occupations.
Gotcha.
Same thing, healthcare, transportation will be. I'm looking for the transportation to get added in a category-based express entry draw. But if you are under those important sectors, you are safe. White-collar jobs, trust me, Canada don't need it.
When you said about transportation, right now, when you see in the new policy for the
RCIP.
they have included the transportation.
So that's something like Canada is depending upon the transportation. Those logistics drivers, they are the backbone of the Canada, and that's why before 2021 it used to be under tier 4 and 5. It come to tier 3 just because of that importance that drivers plays a most crucial role in Canadian economy. Unfortunately, this time they have excluded the transportation sector, but I'm very positive that either it will be included or it will be coming by next year. Transportation would be one of the sector which the express entry will also be focusing.
Wow, that will be good this thing because we have a lot of our clients as well in the whole transportation sector. All right, we have a question from Joel who's asked, why is RNIP process taking too much time?
Which one?
Joel, who has asked, why is RNIP process taking too much time?
Again, same thing, elections, I would say, and there's again the political thing, the allotment. And RNIP is something where it's depending upon one of the community or one of the region which comes under the province and which comes under the federal. Whenever you see immigration is going smooth, that should be other than if there is nothing happening with more about the political side. Right now, all the applications, even if you're looking into the PNP, the human capital priority stream or the skilled trade worker stream, which is express entry based PNP, there was a time when the PNP used to get approved in 2 to 3 months.
Wow, okay.
And I have an application which is now sitting from last April and May for the PNP, express entry stream. The PNP submitted and still the decision is not there. Whenever we call the PNP, they are saying that no, the application under the process, like it's almost like 1 year and the PNP application is not getting processed. So when submitted application is not getting processed, we can see there is lack of staff or there is something is going on behind. And maybe that is the reason that they are not even conducting new draws in PNP or in RNIP or even in express entry. I believe the same thing going on.
All right, when he was talking about House of Commons, I was like, that kind of like gave me a whole memory of what happened last week. I don't know if you guys were there, but we as a CAN team, we had the privilege and the honor to be at Ottawa, the main capital city of Canada. There was a wonderful a family, a church family who had invited us for a seminar, and we were able to be there for the last whole weekend. We were just there. We were able to go to different government buildings, go explore Ottawa, try out different food, smash burgers.
One of the best.
Yeah, we were able to do that. So I was just reminded, and I wanted to also share it with you guys, and just wanted to know, let you guys know as well, that if you have a community, like let's say about like a 30-40 people, and all of them are like international students, friends, relatives, families, church, religious institutions, wherever you guys are, and if you have a community of couple of people, and all of them are like this whole journey of like finding the immigration process, the pathways and everything, and you want like if you wish to like host a seminar or like a session with Vishnu, we would love to do it. All right, so what we'll do is we'll also put our contact details in the chat. Reach out to one of those numbers. Tell that you are interested in hosting a seminar, that you have a couple of people. If it is close by or even if it's far, we would love to travel. We want to come there, be in person, explain how it works, simplify immigration for you guys. So let us know if you guys want to collaborate or just, if you want to host. We are all down for it. We can come to your place. We can have a great session, explain everything, get to know you guys much better. All right, going back. So you want to have that drinking break? Sorry. All right, let's go back to the questions. We have...
One more thing I would like to add.
Sure.
These seminars are 100%, it's non-profitable. We are not doing any kind of marketing there, or we are not saying that, okay, no, you take our service. Like same thing, what you're listening to me here on online, same kind of questions, any kind of questions coming there related to the immigration, we are honestly giving you the answer. And one thing, which those people who know me very well, they know that I never gonna tell that, okay, no, sign up with us and we can do this and we can do that. If there is something which you can do by yourself, I would be honest to tell you how to do it. Last Ottawa session, we got a good feedback about that we tried to be away, like not like every other immigration firm. We try to educate. Like I said, I came like you guys. So whenever I see an international student standing there asking a question, I always think that, okay, if I'm in that position, what kind of advice I need? And that's something I usually try to give. And that's why these seminars are really good, where the communities are getting the support, getting their ideas clear, getting their questions clear, and it builds the community a little bit more strong.
That's why. And if anyone's joining us from Ottawa, say hi. Just put a hi. We would love to know, like, if you guys were there. And also, like, even because there was so many questions, we even had to end up going live on that day as well. That's amazing. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back. Okay, too much distractions. We have Elders who has asked, I'm going to apply for my study permit extension. How many days does it take to get into the applied status?
So the applied status is, as soon as you submit your application, you directly go on applied status or applied status. You don't have to worry. So just you submit and you continue study. All good.
Awesome. We have Pri who has asked, hi, I think I missed some documents while applying for the home care pilot program, which we had explained in the whole of the live, but still, you can give a brief explanation. Should I upload it via web form or wait for the AOR?
I would say, Pri, you can try to raise through a web form, but once the application is submitted, it's depending upon the CIC officer that whether he's gonna analyze the particular document or he's gonna be also considering the news document which you're submitting. But once again, if you get an AOR, then definitely you can able to submit the documents properly. That is the right way to do if you missed any documents.
Okay, Vishnu, there's a lot of people who's confused. It's like so many pathways are coming. AIP is coming up, RNIP is coming, RCIP is coming up. People are confused, like which one should they go for, or like how do they understand like which one is their best option? Because so many, like if you tell me like, okay, this is the only way, I would be like, okay, I just have to focus on this one way. But when you give so many options, I'm like, okay, which one do I focus? So, like especially with these RCIPs and this RNIPs and AIPs and
REDI,
REDI, home care. How can you simplify for people like in simple terms, like what is what?
Okay. Let me just make a simple comment, okay? So now, if someone wanted to get a PR, there are totally 5 different ways to get the PR. First one, express entry, okay? Second one, PNP. So whichever province you go, there is a PNP. Third one is through LMI. Again, now there is no 50 points, but yeah, the person can get work permit extension.
Gotcha.
Fourth one, through community program. So in the community program, there is a RCIP, RNIP, or like a REDI. Those are all community programs.
Okay.
And then there is a AIP, Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So it's not pilot, it's basically Atlantic Immigration Program. Okay. So now these are the 5 ways to get the PR, in which the only one, the express entry is the one where neither you need to depend upon employer, nor you need to depend upon an immigration firm, nor you need to have any kind of extra support from the third parties.
Extra documents.
It's basically straightforward that you study, you have a work experience, you have a good IELTS score, English proficiency exam, you can calculate your CRS point, and through that you can able to understand that, okay, whether I get qualified into skill trade, whether I can get qualified into category based, can I qualified into express entry PNP based, what kind of streams you can get qualified, you can identify from that. Even Francophone is something which included in express entry.
Okay.
That it's not just like, okay, you got NCLC level 7 and you will get PR. No, you still need to create an express entry profile.
Got it.
Okay, so express entry, it's all you. You don't need to depend upon employer. You just need tier 0, 1 to 3 job. Even if you work as a cook or even you work as a manager, same points there.
Wow.
Okay, there is no wage difference. There is no part-time, full-time kind of thing. If you complete 30 hours per week, it's a full-time for immigration. Now, when I'm talking about express entry, as you know, I have not used the word employer. But as soon as I go with the PNP, REDI, home care pilot program, AIP, or any other pathway now, okay, 95% of the applications first need employer.
Got it.
So the answer to your question, how can someone can see that, okay, which kind of process they will go?
True.
Express entry, almost everyone can get qualified depending upon their CRS. But other than that, if you have an employer, that determines that, okay, what extra backup option you have. So if you go through a PNP, like if you have an employer, for example, in Ontario, in Kitchener, you are easily getting qualified into international student job offer stream. If you are having a supportive employer, but you are working in tier 4 and 5, you may get qualified into in-demand.
Okay.
But at the same time, if a person is having an employer in Alberta, the person is getting qualified into the opportunity stream.
Got it.
If the person is having an employer in Nova Scotia, the person can be qualified into PNP, AIP.
Okay.
So it all depends upon where you have an
are.
employer and what is your profile, so that you can able to match it. Through that only the process is coming.
Got it.
But now usually what happens is a student asks me, okay sir, can I do international student job offer stream? And my first question is, do you have an employer? Say no. No sir, I just watched a video which says that you just need an offer letter and I can able to apply for an international student. Yes, you just need an offer letter, but two things you have to look, whether you have an employer and what is your points in the international student job offer stream. Both determine that will you get a positive response if you even go under the international student.
Okay, that's
a huge.
That's a huge. This thing he just summarized. Actually, you know what? I want to. Thank you. That was a good explanation. Like
I was trying to control myself. He always said me, like when I go into something, I really have that personality that I need to explain everything until and unless the client say that, yeah, I understood. But when it's online, he always tell me that, okay, conclude it.
No, honestly, that was actually a good summarizing of everything. You actually said it in perfect ways. That was amazing. All right, back to the questions. We have Eldo who has asked, I'm going to transition from one course to another. There's a 4-month gap in between. How many hours am I allowed to work during these 4 months?
So Eldos, hi. So if it's a one course which you already completed and you're taking another full program after 4 months, that means you are eligible to work for full-time hours. There is no limitation that how many hours you can work. You are in that sweet period where you can able to work full-time without any obligation that, okay, one employer, two employer, as number as employer you want, you can able to work. But please note that 4 months break has to be where you have completed one program and now you're waiting to start another program after 4 months. In that condition, no limitation, any number of hours you want, you can work.
Okay, he has a follow-up question as well. He's asking, I'll be a practical nurse 2 years from now. Which PR pathways would be for me to obtain the PR?
Bro, nurse to nurse. Good. So RPN is a really good one. So if you can able to complete your RPN exam, you get a job. I don't know what's your background, if you're 12th or degree. If you came after 12th, then definitely I would recommend you should go through a category-based express entry draw if you have a good IELTS score. If you came after degree, you can definitely go through human capital priority stream.
That's good. Okay. Oh, we have Jesme who has asked, hello, needed to ask if I start a full-time job as RPN with another employer, will the 6 months experience I acquired till now on work permit with another employer be valid for express entry?
Hi, Jamie. So, really good question. Okay. So now let me just make it very clear. In express entry, there is nothing called as working with only one employer. You can work with 7 different employer, 7 different title. If all the jobs are under tier 0, 1 to 3, you can accumulate that. So answer to your question, if you have a 6 months of experience as a RPN, now you got another 6 months from another employer, combine that, you do qualified for express entry, CEC. If you have experience from back home, you're qualified under FSW. You are also qualified under the category-based express entry draw. But once you complete 1 year of experience, then you will also get qualified into human capital priority stream healthcare.
Aldo said, haha, I didn't know you were a nurse.
I'm a registered nurse, bro. I do hold. Yeah, I love to work. Like I got inspired by Mother Teresa. So she was my inspiration in my young age. Through that, I came to nursing. But yeah, I love that. I love the job. To be honest, I love the job as a nurse back home because it's more hands-on care. Having an RN license do have that positive vibe that, okay, I'm a registered nurse. But the negative thing is that I do more administrative kind of work. Hands-on care is very less here. And that's why I work in group home. I work in long-term care where I really able to connect with people. And that's something I love to have. And that's why I'm in immigration too.
Thank you so much for answering my question, Aldo said.
Yes.
All right. We have Joel who's asked, I got my invitation through RNIP and recently got my arrival letter. When I got my invitation, I was shift manager and now I have a chance for a promotion. Can I take it or do I have to inform the IRCC
So
about
Joel,
it?
right?
Joel.
Joel,
Yeah.
hi Joel. Congratulations to submitting your PR application. Pre-arrival means it's a last stage. So somewhere from next 1 to 6 months, you can expect your COPR. Now, whenever you go through an employer-based PR pathway, you might have submitted through one other knock code. The only condition is that you have to stick with that employer. It doesn't say that, okay, you have to stick with the same knock code or the position. You can change that because your PR app you submitted, you are already working there for 1.5 years. You deserve to be getting promoted. Take that, make some good money, wait for your COPR. Once you have that, go for India, enjoy your vacation, come back, again, work hard to make your life successful.
All right, we we have Joel, that there was one more chat about it. I hope that I did cover that answer for you right now. I mean, I didn't. Vishnu did, but yeah. All right. Vishnu, I have a question. A lot of when you say like working with like community programs, right? What if I'm in Ontario? I think this was one of the questions that we asked in one of the seminar, like last seminar. There was one question. Was suppose if I'm in Ontario and I'm working for one of these employers who are eligible in one of these community programs, and I'm working from here remotely, will I be eligible in this particular program?
So this is Joel.
No, this is my question.
This is your question. Okay. So good question. Okay. Answer is no.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to understand one thing that whenever, let me give you an example. Okay. Then you can understand. Okay. So for example, while you're studying, okay, you need a laptop. You went and asked your dad that, okay, dad, I need a laptop. Your dad said yes. Will you go and ask your mom?
No.
Okay. Now, dad say no. Now will you ask your mom or not? Okay. Okay. Now, if mom say yes, now mom will make you to do all the things. You need to be a good boy, and then she will slowly convince that. But the thing which you can get in 1 day or 1 week, if dad is approved, that may take 2 months to 7 months when it is going through mom. Okay. But again, it will be done because mom approved for that.
Okay.
The same thing goes with the community programs.
Okay.
That it all depends upon that, okay, if you go through any kind of community or PNP, you do have a liability there. So for example, now you got a bike and your mom recommended that. Every time you're taking the bike, your mom will say, "A bike ende karanamala." I got you that bike. Okay? Dad will never say that. And same thing happened with the community or a PNP or AIP also. That whenever you're getting a PR through employer support, there is a commitment period. And the commitment period is something which goes for 2 years.
Okay.
So even if you're submitting like a REDI or you're going with RCIP, RNIP program, you first of all need to be in that community, then only you will get the recommendation letter. If you are working for an employer remotely, you are not having an intention to stay in that particular community, and technically that makes you ineligible to apply for that.
Okay.
So it's not about employer, it's about you.
Gotcha.
You need to be in that community, working for the employer in the community, and having an intention to live in that community.
Got it.
Then only you are getting qualified into community program. Even for PNP, the same thing. I do have clients who lived in Ontario, working for Alberta.
Okay.
But now the point is, even they get a PNP opportunity, they need to prove that, okay, no, I have an intention to live there. For PNP, it's fine.
Okay.
They look into, okay, after PR, you can move. But when it's a community program, you only get priority if you studied there, you're working there,
Okay.
then you get the priority.
Got it. Okay. No, that's actually a good thing because I think a lot of people have that kind of questions.
Yes.
It even builds a curiosity.
Work from that particular community. Don't work remotely. I understand some of the community not that good, but if you want your PR, your employer is qualified, move there, be there.
You know what? When you were saying the dad and mom example, what's the one thing that comes to me? So for me, in my family, how it works, and a lot of Indian families, it happens is
Mom need to be
no. I go ask dad, dad will like go ask mom. Then I'll be like go ask mom. Then mom will be like go ask dad. Then it's me just like going from here to there and there to here, and then by the end of the day, I lose all the time. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going. I'm just staying here. I think that's a master plan they have created because they don't want to say no, but they don't want to say yes. They just be like, go ask mom.
So then what you have to do, when they were sitting together, you need to jump there. And that was my plan. Like evening time, I know at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, when my dad have a tea, mom and dad will be at one place. And I always try to wait for that particular moment to put my any request, because at that point, they cannot say that, okay, go and talk to someone. They have to make a decision. You need to be clever, man.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
I will teach this to your kid.
To my future generations, guys, to my future kids when you're watching this. All right. We have a question. Going back to the questions, we have Manuswini, who has asked, my AIP application is being reviewed, and the email shows that when an employer responds positively, they will let me know if there is any revisions or any new criteria. Am I in the AIP pool or affected?
Yeah, Mansini, you're good. So you submitted your application, you don't need to worry. You're already in the pool. It's like application intake, okay? So like, for example, if you submitted, you are already in that pool, you are safe. Even if the application get closed, your application already under the process. It only gonna influence those individuals who are not yet submitted the application. So you're good, don't worry. You will get it. Just put a text message once you receive your endorsement that you got it. We will be also happy among all those who will be happy for you.
And we genuinely are happy. We're not telling you, we are happy.
I'm always, like I said, it's not, I never say that, no, take my service then only. If you are happy, if I see anywhere, if wherever I go, if I see happy faces, that just give me a positive vibe. So, good.
All right, we have another question from Thomas, who has asked, hello, is Diploma in Disability Studies 900 hours in class education and 600 hours in practicum experience? Is eligible education for home support worker? I'm already in that position.
I'm already in, I believe. Either are you in already in the application? Did you place the application, or are you about to place the application? Because now, yes, you may be eligible, but to complete your application, you need to have an employer who is giving you the job offer letter without any deadline, or under the 44101 or 44100 knock code. If you do have an employer, then yes, you can wait for next year home care support program, or you can even try for the outland applicant. But once again, the outland applicant is something which says that you should not be in Canada. There might be some other regulation will be coming. But I would say if you do have a good employer, look for in-demand stream. Even if you have a tier 4 and 5, you will get qualified, or look into international student that will get you the PR faster, and it has larger quota than the pilot program.
Thomas said he is in the application.
Yeah. So don't think now. Already it's done. Now, even if I say yes or no, CIC has to decide that. But you're good. You're good.
All right. We have another question from Pranju, who has says, hi, I'm currently working as a part-time pharmacy assistant. Just completed my course. So when I apply for PGWP, can I apply for spousal open work permit, as well as should I wait to get my full-time job?
Okay, so now, Pranju, do one thing. If you can able to get a job offer letter from your employer saying that, okay, you will be working full time, that is more than enough to put an application. Include an explanation letter stating that I used to work at this place part-time, but employer is offering me a full-time title once I submit my work permit. I will be updating my pay stubs once I get it. So by this, what can happen is in the one application, you can also include your spouse. You can submit the application, and once you receive your pay stubs, you just need to update through F.
Awesome. All right.
Ranju, give me a thumbs up if you received your...
Yeah, we have a lot of thank you for answering questions.
Thank you.
Joel, thank you. Sarah, thank you. Thank you so much, Vishnu. All right, we have Mandeep, who has asked, sir, Blind River is part of RCIP community. I have a job offer as a physiotherapy assistant, and will I apply for PGW? And I will apply for PGWP this April end. Will I get PR if I've completed 12th from back home? And should I go for this option?
Physiotherapy assistant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beauty. So Mandeep, please don't even think twice. If you do have a good employer and he's offering you your professional job, please move in, because other than that, if you wait and you lose this opportunity, you maybe end up working in some of the restaurant, which is not something which I wish for you. So please, if you have a good employer which is already under the like a RCIP, Move, start working, wait for, and once they open the RCIP, you can able to submit your application with that.
When you say good employer, like I have a lot of friends who ask, like, bro, like if I'm applying for this application, how do I know that they will apply, they will support me for PR?
Just ask your employer that are they ready to fill the ONP form? Did they did any kind of RCIP applications before? Are they endorsed employer? By this, you can able to understand that whether employer is supportive, because there are two kind of employer, just to, like three kind of employer basically. I would say one who will do anything for the employees. That's me. Okay, I take that credit. so again, the employees are there. If you go and ask them, okay, can you do this for me? They will say yes or no. Second is those employers who will say no, they cannot do. So like straight away you go, they say no, I cannot do this, because
I think most of these companies associated with US companies and all that.
US, like big companies, or if someone don't understand the immigration. So Walmart used to be one of the best example, classic example I would say, that they never used to support for the PNP and RN. Okay, but now they started to do support for the AIP when they started to see that now there are no employees there. Then they started to support for some of the community programs, and now they just officially said that now they are supporting for the PNP.
Yeah.
So now employer, once they understand the immigration, they say yes, but if they don't understand, they don't care, they will say no. And the third category of employer is little bit on both the side, that you work for me for 1 year, then I will look into, or no, I don't know what is needed, you tell me what to do. Stay away from that. Those employers, you need to be very careful, because someone say that, okay, work for me and then I will support. What if after that they don't support?
Yeah, because I know a lot of friends and people who have been into this whole scam. They be like, they will support, they'll say everything is starting, and in the midway through, either the company is just getting transferred to a new owner, and or like, in the end they'll be like, no, we won't support you, and then they've wasted one whole year.
So that's why I always recommend, like even someone want to sign up with me, I always tell them, okay, I need a filled ONP form. And many people ask me that, okay, no, it is not needed. We only need it once we submit a PR application, the PNP application, after the invitation. And my sincere request to every CAN family member is that, okay, you told me your employer is qualified. You said that, okay, your employer is qualified for LMI. But I need the surety, because now once I start the application, everything is done. Now the invitation come, I prepared all the documents to submit, and then the employer will say, no, I need time. So again, it's a waste of time for me, the waste of money for you. Why even we want to go in that? And that's why whenever it's a PNP or LMI or AIP or RCIP, I always want a confirmation from the employer. And that's why if someone wanted to sign up with me, my team usually asks them that, okay, we need email from your employer that, okay, they are supportive or they have did some application in prior. The only exception is that employer is too good. That, okay, someone like me just say that, okay, man, what you need, you just tell me. So that kind of employer.
जो चाहिए तुम्हें तो.
Except the director position, just take anything.
Okay, we have Saurav. Back to questions. Can you please provide more details about the RCIP in Thunder Bay?
Yes, so we have did a detailed video on that. Did you? It's already posted.
RCIP?
RCIP is already, yeah. So we are gonna put a detailed video of the YouTube. If you are following our YouTube, usually the long videos goes on our YouTube videos. My team will just post that in the comment section now. You can able to watch it. I have explained it very clearly about the education requirement, IELTS requirement, spouse, everything. I have explained it in a very well manner, I believe. After that also, if you have any doubts, just put a comment below that video. I would be happy to guide you.
All right, Manasri has said, thank you so much, guys. Praju has said, thumbs up, given a thumbs up. Okay, we have a question from Hannah. She's like, I'm an early childhood educator in Ontario. So for PR, do I have to move to another province or rural area? I got a full-time job as well.
So Hannah, it depends upon how your profile, that whether you have to move or not. Or I would say two things in mind. One is your profile. Second is, do you have a supportive employer? When I say supportive employer, it means that are they ready to support with a PNP, RNIP, AIP or something other. Okay. But if you have a good employer, you have a full job. If you are sitting on a good CRS point, I would say you don't even need to move. And please note, moving the province or moving the community will never get you the PR. If you have an employer, yes, that in that particular community will help you to get a PR. So take out that question from your mind that, okay, if I move to Nova Scotia, if I move to Yukon, I will get my PR. I have seen people who moved and later on they call me and say that, sir, I moved and now I am employed for like unemployed for last 4 months. I don't even have money to pay my rent. So please don't move, don't jump into that conclusion. Find an employer. And again, then you need to evaluate through your profile that, okay, what all process are there which is qualified you, and then you can able to look into other options.
That's amazing. All right, Hannah has also said, can I apply for spousal open work permit in an applied PGWP status? Will you guys assist to do this visa processing with a smiley face?
Hannah, that's something we do. Yes, we can. And again, let me ask you one thing. You might have done your postgrad open work permit, and 99% you might have done by yourself. Why you even need our assistance for spousal open work permit? That's my first question. Because now during the consultations, I usually explain the clients how to put an application by themselves. Because once again, the spousal open work permit is almost same like postgrad open work permit. The only difference is that when you're putting a spousal open work permit, the spouse, like for example, in this case, you need to have a full-time job under tier 01 or 2, 3 selective knock codes. You need to have a 3 pay stub. You can put your bank statement, you can put your like a rental agreement, and then you need to have all the proof of relationship. From your husband's side, it can be his employment letter, education, his financial documents, and very important thing is statement of purpose or invitation from your side, which explain the CIC officer that why he wanted to come to Canada and why he will leave Canada after his intended period of stay. Simple, straightforward. But again, if you don't have time or you are taking too much of stress, contact us, we'll take care of you.
She also said, I only trust you guys as a consulting agency.
That's a huge word. Thank you for that. Like I said, that's something I would like to keep up with, and that's what I'm saying. You're good, but try to do the application from your side. If complicated, stress, then reach us, then we'll take care of you.
Okay, all right. We have Urvi Suthar. She's asked, I have a master's degree from India, but West evaluated. If it says as a double bachelor's, can IQS give me a master's equivalency, or do I need to submit both my bachelor's and master's degree for that?
Okay, Urvi, nice question. We have did videos on that previously, but let me explain you. You have to go through one of the education credential evaluation agency to look into what is the equivalency you are getting. So for example, if you did masters like MBA, or you did online, or you did something crash course from some like some of the ABC university, which is not that reputed, unfortunately you will only get as a PG or the degree. But again, if you have did some reputed masters of 2 years full time in from the good college and university, that then there is a good chance of getting a master's equivalency. Now, I have seen a lot of videos where people say that, okay, in West, if it is not done, you do IQS or ICS and then you can able to get masters. Trust me, that's a rumors. Only after getting that report from IQS or ICS only, you can able to affirm that, yes, that will come as a master's, because I have seen, I can say around 60 to 70% of cases, if West say it is not, IQS also say it is not. There was a time in the past when IQS used to give like, okay, 3-year GNM program or a MBA program. West say that, no, I will not do. So IQS usually do that and they say that, okay, it's a 3-year degree or 3-year diploma. But unfortunately, that was passed. Right now, if you wanted to get a correct answer, I would say you need to connect with someone who studied from that particular university or that particular college, and someone who might have done already the IQS or ICS. Then only you will get a proper answer. Other than that, if someone say that you will get masters, question mark on that, you proceed with it. It may take around 6 to 8 months to get the evaluation done. And then only you will come to know whether you get a master's or not. But let me ask you one thing, Urvi. Do you know that you only get 7 points for that master's? So think about, is it worth to spend this much of money and time behind the 7 points? Or is it worth to spend that kind of money behind your IQA, like CELPIP, IELTS or PTE, or even you can learn French, which can get you way higher point than this. So think about it. But like I said, you can do IQS or ICS, but there is no guarantee until unless someone already did that application.
All right, Vishnu, to the last couple of minutes of the live session, we are at 7:10. Last couple of minutes we are in. Okay, let's go. We have Subin P. Benny, who has asked, "Hi Vishnu, I'm working as a building operator, knock 73210, completed 1 year. Any chances to get a PR?"
Depending upon your CRS point, brother, if your CRS point is good, you should be waiting for the skilled trade worker stream, or you can even look into CEC. There are chances. Other than that, ask your employer if he's ready to support the PNP. You can go under the International Student Job Offer stream.
Okay, we have a question from Shupandi. Has asked knock code 4441101 PR options. I think it stands for lawyers.
It is. If you are working for a good reputed law firm or like a company, definitely you should ask them if they are ready to support for the PNP. If they are ready to fill the Ontario PNP form, you can look into that. Otherwise, if you are a lawyer, definitely you must have a bachelor's, like master's equivalency in WS. Why don't you try for express entry? Improve your English proficiency. That will help you for your licensing, as well as that will help you for your PR.
All right, we have Mandeep who has a follow-up question. Who's asked, Francophone mobility program requires employer support?
It need, again, it's a express entry only. So you need to go through express entry. In that, you need to have a NCLC level 7. So it's basically express entry where you don't need a support, you just need an experience, and then you go through express entry. Draw comes, you get an invitation.
All right, and to the last couple of questions, Aman Singh who has asked, "Hello sir, AIP for cooks is closed in Nova Scotia."
Yes, but Aman, let me give you a...
You want to explain in Hindi? A lot of people love your Hindi.
चलो यार हिंदी में बात करते हैं यार, बहुत हो गया इंग्लिश से मेरी भी जान जलती है।
अंग्रेजी बहुत ही है।
चल भाई यार, सो पाजी यार एक काम कर, अगर आप कुक हो, एक थोड़ा सा नुक देता हूँ मैं कि अपने एम्प्लॉयर से बात करो, लुक इनटू द ड्यूटीज। अगर आपकी ड्यूटीज शेफ की ड्यूटी से मैच करती है, नोवा स्कोशिया में कुक को नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि इट्स अंडर फूड इंडस्ट्री, गो एज अ शेफ। अगर आपके रेस्टोरेंट या जहाँ पर आप काम कर रहे हो वहाँ पर वो ड्यूटीज़ हैं, दैट कैन डेफिनेटली एबल टू गेट क्वालिफाइड इनटू PNP और AIP बोथ। नॉट मेनी पीपल नो अबाउट इट। कुक और शेफ दोनों अलग अलग चीज़ें
होती है। Okay. We have Q&As who is asked, "I'm working as an accounting clerk full-time in Ontario and in Tier 4. Am I eligible to create express entry profile? What options I have in Ontario? How do I know if my employer is eligible?"
So, everyone who do have a 1 year of Canadian work experience or have more than 2 to 3 years of foreign work experience are qualified for express entry. That's again, it depends upon multiple factors like your age, your education, your experience, your English proficiency, your brother, sister in Canada, and those kind of factors where you can able to look into what's your CRS point is coming. If your CRS point is high, but you're not meeting that, then you just have to wait. But other way to get into is look into the PNP. The PNP is very simple. Just let me tell you the simple thing. Okay, so if you are in GTA, if your employer is in GTA,
Ontario.
Okay, it's in Ontario. If it's inside GTA, then your employer need to have a 1 million revenue, must be having a business for more than 3 years, and having at least 5 Canadian PR or citizen employees. Okay, full time. If your employer is outside GTA, then your employer need to have a 500,000 revenue, 3 full-time permanent employees who are Canadian citizen or PR, and the employer need to be in business for more than 3 years. If these 3 conditions are fulfilled, you just need to download OINP employer form, Google it, you will find it, download that, show it to your employer. Your employer can able to look into and he can able to say that yes or no to that. If that is yes, congratulations, you are qualified for the PNP.
I think a lot of people have this assumption because everyone says you need to have a tier 0, 1, 2, 3 position itself to get supported for PR. But there's a lot of tier 4 and 5 job titles which are like eligible to support you for immigration itself. So yeah, it is possible. We have Elders who's asked, where did you learn to speak Hindi?
Man, I born in Punjab, bhai. I've raised up in North. Malayalam is my 3rd or 4th language which I speak. My wife is from Malayalam.
Kerala.
From Kerala.
Don't say that.
She is from Kerala, Alua, and my ancestors are from there. So I speak multiple languages. Malayalam is one of those. Hannah says that Malayalam namke samsari keh lo. Namke Malayalam okay na. I speak Malayalam, Tamil both. But again, when it comes to Hindi, Punjabi, Marathi, that's something where I was having most of my friends. So that is something my frequently speaking
He
language.
gets connected very well.
थोड़ा ज़्यादा.
It's like for every time he gets a consultation, is it Hindi? Let's do it right away.
When it's Malayalam, I need to think the words. Like I need to roll out the sentences. When it is Hindi, man, that's my thing.
Yeah. Amazing. All right. I think that's everything, Vishnu. That's a wrap for today. I think we've crossed 1 hour. And you do have another consultation at 7:30. All right. Let's go.
It's
Let's go.
starting
Let's
now.
go. Let's
The busy
wrap.
night is gonna start now. Before
Yeah.
we go home, there's around like good number of consultations which you need to finish tonight.
Finish emergency cases. And let us know what's your plan for the weekend. And that's everything for today.
Aldos is laughing. Good man. ചെറിയ ജീവിതമാണ്. So കുറേ ലാംഗ്വേജ് അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കണം. ആൾക്കാരായിട്ട് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാലോ.
Yeah, it takes you to a lot of places knowing the languages. I know that for sure.
Right now I'm learning French and my teacher is my daughter. So 5 years teacher, like 5-year-old teacher. She's very hard on me sometimes. She's like, no, Papa, not like this. You need to pronounce it like this.
Bonjour.
Not like that.
Bonjour.
No, it's bonjour.
Bonjour.
Yeah, that
Comment-
has to come there.
Comment ça va? Ça va bien? All right, everybody. That's everything. That's
Take
a wrap for today.
Take care, guys.
Thank
Take
you
care.
so much for joining in. Make sure you follow us for more updates, for more hard newses, and for more approvals,
Positive vibes.
for more
Again,
memes.
memes, definitely. Like long videos, we put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Small reels, we put it on Instagram, so you can find it there.
All right, that's everything for today. You guys have a great weekend, and thank you so much for joining. Take care. Bye.